Yo, 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 what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, once again here on the Roundtable Person podcast, brought to you by BodySlam.net. And I have a very special interview today. You may have just seen her at GCW. You may have seen her at AEW. You may have seen her at Ring of Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Janai Kai. What's up, girl? How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, well, it's another day. It's another day. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of a sad day in the industry, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about something positive in the industry. So you've been around for what, 3 years now?
Yeah. So I've been wrestling professionally for 3 years. I started training in 2017, so it was technically 4 years since I've been around wrestling.
Nice, nice. Tell us some of your major accomplishments so far. I mean, you've been pretty much all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, recently I started just getting on some major platforms. Um, for example, Ring of Honor, and then the AEW thing on Rampage. And I've been getting some spots in GCW here and there, but mainly wrestling for JCW, which is Jersey Championship Wrestling.
Now, Jersey Championship Wrestling is kind of like a kind of an offshoot in some ways to GCW. I know they're closely tied. As a matter of fact, the very first time I actually saw you was a match with Billy Starks and Kevin Gill. KG put you over so huge that I just had to get you on the show. And then I remember, I know you did Bloodsport with Josh Barnett.
Hmm.
That had to be freaking crazy. I mean, Bloodsport
Yeah.
just. Tell me about this experience with Bloodsport.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it was very crazy. Bloodsport has definitely been on my radar. Like, I've been really wanting to be a part of it. And thankfully, I was for Mania this year in Tampa. So, yeah, the overall experience was great. The atmosphere was great. The fans were great. It was me versus KZT, and we were the first match. And so, I mean, it was a little bit of pressure to open up the show, but it was a good feeling. I love the environment there.
I will tell you this: as a professional wrestler of almost 3 decades, it is awesome when a promoter or a booker has enough confidence in you to open the show. Because we all know there are 3 matches that make the show. The first match sets the tone. The second match brings it up. The main event kills it. So for them to
Hmm.
put you in a position to be in the first match on the show, man, good job, good
Yeah.
job.
Thank you.
I mean, hey,
Thank.
it's high praise, you know. And Josh Barnett's someone that you really, know, that's a man you got to impress.
Oh man, yes, most definitely.
So, let's talk about this AEW Dark and just AEW Rampage thing. Like Jay Cargill, come on, let's talk about that. I mean,
Okay.
what's it like working with someone that you have more experience in?
Um, I mean, I've had that situation before in the indie, so it's nothing new. But I mean, overall, the experience was great. It was definitely on a whole different platform than usual. It was on national TV, so
Live.
live. So it was definitely, again, with the pressure. There was some pressure there, but I enjoyed it. Um, the fact that it was very just comfortable being at AEW and being backstage made the situation comfortable. Like, I didn't feel too nervous in the ring. I felt actually pretty comfortable and confident of what was going on.
Well, I will say this: being backstage at AEW is, like being in part of a family. Everyone is so welcoming. Everyone is so cool. Everyone's laid back. It's like being at an indie show where you know everybody, even if you don't know anybody. I get that so much from everyone that comes on the show. They said, "Hey, man, when you're at AEW, it's like you walk in, it's like, hey, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a long time." Or, "Hey, buddy, how are you doing? My name is so and so. Glad to have you here." Was that like that when you came back there?
Yeah, like you said, like there was familiar faces and everything, so I definitely had the exact same experience, just seeing people that, I've seen at other indie shows, because they can still work indie shows too, which is
Yeah.
cool. So I have seen some of them throughout this year as well. But overall, yeah, it's definitely like a family, very friendly. Everyone's just joking around the whole time. It's very chill, so it was really cool.
You have any backstage stories from AEW when you were there?
No, I don't have any like particular interesting stories. Just everyone again is just very funny. Was joking around, so so yeah, like I didn't say anything in particular that was really out there, but overall, again, it was really cool to be around people and meet certain people and kind of see like how their personality is. Like Dustin Rhodes is actually really, really funny. I wasn't expecting him to be like totally chill. Like he would come up to me randomly when I was just standing there and just look at me and he was like, "You can do this. Don't be nervous. You got it." I was like, "Thank you."
Well, he does the Rhodes Academy, the Rhodes Academy, and he does that show. They do like their little their YouTube series. They actually have like something like TV, like a TV taping, and he's like the agent. He's the agent of most of the matches on the show, and a lot of people that I brought on the show, a lot of people that I know personally that have gone there and have done that. They're like, dude, he's so nice. He's so down to earth. And I met him. I met him at a. I want to say it was a convention that I was doing. It was during WrestleMania week down in Orlando, and he was there. No, it was the Wale Mania party,
Okay.
and he's such a nice guy. He's freaking tall. Like I'm 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, he's really
Yeah.
tall, you know. But he's such a cool guy. He's kind of a goof too. I like that, you know.
Yeah.
He really made me feel so at ease and so comfortable. So yeah, kudos to that. Um, so tell us about your training. You know, I mean, you mix a lot of different styles into your wrestling repertoire.
hmm yeah, so my background is in Taekwondo. I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and then I started getting more into Muay Thai and kickboxing later when I got older. So that was mainly like the background I had before I started professional wrestling. And then when it came to professional wrestling, I started over in Florida and I trained with Santana Garrett, who's also been on AEW recently.
Former
And
NWA Women's World Champion, by the way.
yeah. And then I also trained with Eric Lockhart, who trained over at Booker T School, who is a trainer over there as well, and he really helped me a lot to develop my character. And then as I moved back to DC, which is home to me, I traveled over to the Worldwide Dojo, which is in Pennsylvania, and I trained with world famous CB and Sumi Sakai here and there. I try to go over there as much as I can because it is kind of like a drive, but when I do, I learn so much from them, and I'm very thankful that I was able to go over there as I moved back home. But overall, that's how my training has been.
Nice, nice. So I noticed you were in California this last weekend. I saw some
Yeah.
clips of you and Nicole Savoy. What did you guys gimmick tag team name? What is it called?
Okay, so we haven't figured it out yet, but
Hey, your
it's
guys'
either
tweets are funny, so it's
so it's either kickplex or plex kick because I'm the kicker, she's the suplexer. So we kind of put two and two together, but we're not sure which way we're going with it. So
kickplex
or
or
plex kick.
flex kick.
And so we just had the announcer announcing us as kickplex or plex kick. They haven't figured it out yet. And we're just like,
How about two badass chicks?
I mean, that works
I
too.
mean, I've known her from a long time when she started out down in Northern California. So,
Nice.
yeah, she's pretty fucking bad. So,
Yeah, she's really cool.
yeah, was that your first time teaming up, or
We started teaming up at Shimmer. So we had our singles match. It was me versus her, and it was Shimmer this year. And for Shimmer this year, they had two shows in one day rather than doing like a whole weekend type
yeah?
thing. So the first show was me versus her, and the second show we teamed up against the Hex.
Oh, the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions. Look at you!
Yeah.
Look at this. 2 years in the business, you're already getting challenging world champions, and you ever hear on nationwide global television doing the most? You know, you're like on pay per views with Josh Barnett and Bloodsport. What haven't you done? Like, I mean,
I mean, this all hit this year, so yeah, I can. It to me, it's kind of mind blowing too to think about. because I wasn't even sure if AEW was even happening this year because everyone was getting on. So I was like, all right, well, I'm good with next year if that's what it's gonna be. So, so yeah, everything just really hit this year for me.
So tell us about your Ring of Honor time.
Oh, Ring of Honor. I was really, really nervous to be honest, because with Ring of Honor, I've tape studied Ring of Honor for the longest time. So just the fact that I was there, it was just so surreal to me. And with the situation going on with Ring of Honor just ending basically this year, it was kind of weird for me to be there too, because of that. But being around the girls and like they were developing like a whole women's roster, they were all there and they all welcomed me with open arms, so I was very thankful for that. But everyone was so friendly, like super friendly, and it's not shocking, but it's just great to have that because they were also a great locker room. Since we were talking about like AEW being a good locker room, Ring of Honor was also a very, very great locker room to be around.
So did you did you know that that was going to be like that Ring of Honor was going to be shutting its doors? Like, was there any inclinations about it at all?
This is legit like the week after it was announced. So this is the
Oh,
week
okay.
after everyone got cut basically. So yeah, it was very like, what? I'm coming in here in these tapings right now when everyone basically
Right.
got that heads up that they're getting cut, and it's kind of weird, but it's like, all right, hi, hello everybody. Yeah, I'm new. I guess I
you're,
came in at an
like,
awkward moment.
you're like, I'm here for a minute.
Yeah, I'm just here for a minute too.
I mean, I know a lot of guys that work there. As a matter of fact, I just as a matter of fact today, I just had a text conversation with Shane Taylor, and I'm like, so, how you doing? His reply is, here, let me read you his reply. Not as bad as I thought I was going to be. After
Yeah.
that crazy pay per view match, I'm like, oh my god, he's going to be dead.
Nah,
I'll give him a couple of
yeah.
days before I call him.
Yeah.
So, so what are your thoughts on what happened with Ring of Honor, and do you think they're going to be coming back?
Um, well, from what I've heard, they were teasing a little April 2022 type thing. I'm not even sure about that. Of course, I spoke to like my friends and other people that are a part of Ring of Honor, so they're also not aware of what's going on. So I'm probably like, yeah, I really don't know. Like
You'll
they
probably be the
don't
last
know.
to know.
Yeah, I definitely don't know. So who knows if anything, but it's unfortunate of
Yeah,
what happened,
it
and,
is. They were
and
just
all
gaining
that.
steam too.
Yeah, and like the women's division was just starting up like big time. Like this is where I really felt like this was going to be the time for the woman in Ring of Honor. And I know that the woman there thought of that as well. So it's unfortunate that it's just happening this way.
Yeah. So let's talk about the one championship you've held so far. Real Pro Wrestling, the Women's Championship. Let's talk about that. 84 days?
Real Pro. Oh, also there's one championship that I held, but it wasn't that long. It was for Wrestle League in Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. But
okay.
yeah, Real Pro. Wow, that feels like a while ago too, because I was in Florida for that.
Hmm.
Um,
I know everything.
yeah, you do. No, yeah, and I was for Real Pro, I was doing more of my ninja gimmick for that because it was a whole other deal. Like that's when I really really started out and was trying to figure out how I was going to be going about the shows and how my character was going to be. Like I haven't fully figured it out yet. Like I was definitely not Kick Demon yet or anything. Um, but from what I remembered, it was definitely a cool experience to just be around that locker room too. And I had some really close friends over there that really took care of me as I was starting out. Like I would travel with them and they would
That's the way it
like
usually
definitely
works.
give me some advice and tips. So yeah, it was cool. And then being a champion there, I had no idea what was that about, like, because I was new. So yeah, it took some learning during that time, but it was cool.
I like that. I like that. So I happen to know of a company called Hybrid Wrestling, and I know for a fact that you wrestle Kira Hogan and Tasha Steeles.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was a tag team match. It was me and Yoya. We're known as Yokai, and we were against Tasha and Kiera, and that's when they were like the Impact Tag
Tag team
champ.
champions, yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely pressure, but it was cool to work with them. They're so easy to work with. Like I enjoy working with them because they get it. They both of them just get it. It's like when I just tell them exactly what I'm about, they already know, and that's why like in the ring it didn't feel off with them. They definitely knew how to move around with me because I move differently as well, and I like to let people know that and make them aware. But I didn't get that chance to make it aware to them, so I just moved how I moved in the ring, and they were able to work with it. So they're very
Adaptable.
versatile, yeah, and adaptable. Thank you, in the ring, and I love that about them.
Well, quite honestly, it kind of looks like you're really adaptable too because you can work with a variety of different people. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of your matches, and I haven't seen a bad one. Um, so that's like a very high praise for someone that's been in the business X many years to be so good as a singles wrestler, a tag team wrestler. Um, I guess I guess that would be part of the discipline of the martial arts. You know,
Yeah, like the way that I also learn is like just I I really focus in on how someone moves around. Like I really look at the technique and the way that they move in a particular way, and I think martial arts for that. So that's how it was easy for me to really get the hang of things when it came to training when I first started. So it's also my patience too, because
hmm
one thing with wrestling, you have to be very patient. Like if you
a
rush
lot of people don't
with
get that.
anything, yeah, the main thing is patience because if you rush, you can easily screw something up with wrestling, no matter
Oh
what
yeah,
it is.
oh yeah.
Yes.
That's the gospel right there, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me. Um, so you've worked with a variety of promotions. You worked with Hybrid. You worked with GCW. You worked with Rise. You worked with ROH. You worked with AEW. You worked with Shimmer. But beyond wrestling, you worked with Beyond Wrestling too. Um,
Yeah.
that's like to me, Beyond Wrestling is like the super indie. A lot of people don't realize it, but they have their own television network, IWTV.
Mhm.
Um, and you wrestled on the Wrestling World Network. Um, those are places that like the WWE are scouting. Do you have any
Mhm.
aspirations to either go to WWE? Would you rather go to back to AEW, Impact Wrestling? If you had the opportunity to sign right now with a major company, where would it be?
That really depends on the company's views because I know each company is looking for a particular type of person or someone in their roster. So, I mean, if they see me as a good fit, that's great. If they don't, then they don't because they have different views. And I get that. I'm not going to be all butthurt about it. I know my style's different. I know my look's different. So, I mean, if they were looking for something like that,
Very
then
good
I'm cool.
attitude.
I'm good for it. But I know with WWE, they kind of have like different views nowadays of who they want to, sign, and they just signed some like actual major athletes too. That don't have like a wrestling background. So I kind of see where they're looking more towards, and obviously, like I don't have that what they're looking for. So I don't know if their views are
I
ever
don't
going to change
know.
when it comes to that. But hey, like AEW, Impact, whoever, like if they're looking for someone in particular and I fit that, then I'm cool to show up.
What was the what was the response to you at AEW?
um, so after my match, I didn't meet Tony Khan. He was very busy. He was at Gorilla, so I met him real quick, shook his hand, and said thank you and everything. So I'm not sure exactly what he thought of everything, but with the overall situation in the ring with Jade, it went really well. Like we did what we needed to do. But I would like to show more
Yeah.
of myself there. So until then, I guess I'm not going to hear anything.
I don't know. I mean, a,
So,
a lot of podcast people in the industry were talking about that match, and I'll shoot straight with you because that's how we are on the podcast here. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of Jade winning the championship because I don't think she has. I mean, she has a look, she has the persona, she has the presence, but the actual overall ability to go more than 20 minutes as a champ, I don't think she'll be able to cut it because she's not ready, in my opinion. Um, but with that being said, I do think she's a hell of an athlete, and
mm,
she's making strides that, um, as people of color, I appreciate
mm,
the fact that they're giving her this push. I just hope that the push will. How can I say this? I hope the glitz matches the glamour.
mhm.
If that means something. So a lot of people, when they saw you in a match with her, and people that have seen you at Beyond Wrestling, people that have seen you at Shimmer, at Rise, they're like, "Wow, she should have got more in."
Mm.
I feel that you should have got more in. That's just me, but that's just me talking. And I review that show every week. So,
No, yeah, yeah. Your opinion is very valid. Like I totally get what you mean. As far as like with Jade, because she is very athletic and she's still new to the industry, which is fine.
exactly.
But she's doing a very good job of what she's
Oh,
there to do.
yeah, she
So,
is.
yeah, and you know, representing just black athletes, because and like recently, it's just always been something like on social media where people just hate on her, just they
Yeah.
hate on her, but like she's doing a good job.
Oh
I will
man,
say
she's
that.
fucking killing the game. Me as a professional wrestler, I always look at. I mean, that's my sister. You're my
Mhm,
sister. In this industry, we're all family. You know what I mean? Um,
mhm.
can I help you improve? Because shit, even though I've been in this business almost 3 decades, I
Yeah.
still get improvement. You know, every week. I do a match and I always say, hey man, like my little brother and I went to Japan. We both lived in the New Japan dojo. We trained at the dojo, all this great stuff. I call him after every show and send him a video clip. And he's
Mhm.
like, dude, you've been doing this for so long. I don't care what I mess up on. That's just my mentality. I always want to improve. And I kind of
Yeah.
see that in you. Going to Mission Pro Wrestling, being under Thunder Rosa, you can't ask for a better teacher. Like Thunder is fucking tap out. She's great. What are
Yeah,
your
yeah,
thoughts
she is.
on Mission Pro being an all women's promotion and how it's spotlighting you guys?
I think it's great. I debuted there in July. I haven't been back since, but I do hope to be back. And they've just been doing great. Like ever since the first show, it's just been getting bigger and better. And they even started traveling to other states. So that's
Yeah.
like you don't ever hear shows that just started like already going to other states and being successful with that as well. So I think, and also being an all women's promotion,
Yeah.
you still hear it today. Like people are like, "Oh, women's wrestling doesn't draw. Oh, we're gonna have one match on the
Uh-uh.
card for the woman. Like, just keep it very minimal." Like, and I've experienced that as well. Like, I already know with certain promotions, like what they do and why when it comes to the women. But with the fact that them being an all women's promotion, traveling and being successful and keep getting better and better, like that's amazing. And I'm really happy to be a part of that.
You're doing such a great job as a part of it too. Just the whole women's revolution period. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and just give me the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Um, the WWE women's division. Your thoughts?
Okay. So my thoughts on the WWE Women's Division. I think it's very different. Like everyone's different in their own way. I don't see anyone that's basically the same as the person next to them. I see a lot of potential with some of the girls because there are girls that are very new and they're already getting thrown into the ring on TV and they're actually doing very well, considering the fact. And I do see a lot of potential with them. and I think overall they're all really good, and some of them are friends of mine who I wrestled on the indies, and they're just doing so great there. So yeah, I think they're all really good.
Okay, NXT 2.0 repackaged.
Okay, so NXT 2.0 repackaged.
The look on your
I've been
face.
I've been trying to think of what I even think about it because it's still so like I'm still trying to grasp what they're shooting for here. But it's very bright. It's it's very different vibes than
Oh man.
how NXT used to be, as far as like the underground, like yellow and black type deal, which I love. But I'm gonna give it some time. And again, like
It's been like
I do
4
have,
months.
I I do I do have some friends on there that are being pretty successful right now in NXT 2.0. So I'm very happy for them.
Yeah.
And I love what they're doing with them and everything. They're really blossoming into like
I liked what you
really
said.
great.
I
Like
like the diplomatic answer. You're like, well,
I love the people that are on there. That's and how they're just growing. It's great to see them grow and not
okay.
just stay home and not do anything.
I like that. I like your answer. TBS Championship Tournament.
Oh, okay. So you kind of already could guess like what I think about the tournament and how everything's going down. As far as with Jade and everything, I really just want Thunder to let her know, let her know in that ring, because like I just saw tonight too, with after Rosa's match on what was it, Elevation,
Mhm.
uh with Jade coming out. Like now I just really want Thunder to get her, because she really needs to teach her a lesson in that ring, because Jade has her manager doing all the talking, whatever his name is. I
Smart
forgot.
Mark.
Smart Mark.
Smart Mark
So
Sterling, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah. So I just need the talking to stop and let this rocking and rolling. And I'm sure Thunder could let her know, and she'll do that.
Who has hit you the hardest in this industry so far?
Hit me the hardest. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wrestled a lot of guys this year, and
Mm-hmm.
gosh, it's definitely one of the guys that hit me the
Like
hardest.
someone just hit you, and you're like, "Fuck, that
Yeah,
hurt."
yeah. It's probably gosh, who okay. I will give props to Kevin Blackwood for his kicks,
Okay.
because he did give me a good kick to the back. So I give prop Kevin Blackwood for sure. When he kicked me in the back when I was sitting, I was like, oh, okay, he's
Like
not
that's
even
how.
holding that one.
Like that's
Okay,
how we getting down.
I mean, I get down the same way, so I was glad to feel that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh,
Oh, so you're a little
okay.
snug. You're a little snug on your kicks. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. So what, I'm gonna go with that answer as far as like good, good snug kicks. I give it to Kevin.
Wise answer. Now we have a game that we play here. Before I let you go, I'm gonna play this game with you. Okay, it's real simple, and
Hmm.
everyone loves the game. It's
All
called
right.
Team with View with or Fire. Basically, here's the rules. You can team with anyone you want to in the industry, alive or dead, no matter who it is. You can feud with that same person or any other person, and you can fire any son of a bitch you want. No questions asked, unless you want to tell me why. So, team with feud with fire.
All right. So if I was gonna team with anybody, it would probably be with Kagetsu, who was on Stardom. But she retired. But Kagetsu was like the main person that I always loved watching. So team with Kagetsu. Um, Feud. As far as a feud goes, I feel like me and you know what, if me and Thunder Rosa ever feud, I feel like we had a good feud.
Oh, Are you calling out the
Yeah.
teacher? You saying
Yeah, she calling me the student, so
Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. So the teacher versus the student. You ready for that? You sure you ready for that?
oh no, yeah, like when I had the match with Thunder, I felt something like this wasn't over. This definitely wasn't over.
Ooh.
But she has my back. I feel like we can create something beautiful
Are you
You know,
saying that she
there's
taught you
still more
everything?
to it.
You saying she
Hmm?
taught you everything she knows, but not everything you know?
I'm pretty sure she hasn't taught everything that she knows to me, but I do know other things as
Ooh,
well.
ooh,
So we
ladies and
can put
gentlemen,
it together.
I
Let's
hear her
make some
calling her out.
magic.
Ooh, I heard she
Let's make
calling you
some
out, Thunder.
magic together.
Just so you know, Thunder Rosa does watch this podcast, so Thunder, it sounds like she is calling you
That's
out, girlfriend.
awesome. Thunder, you know what's up. You know what's
Oh,
up.
the hammer has been, the gauntlet has been thrown. Oh, man. Ooh,
I
we
know
got some
she
heat on
already
the
down.
show.
She's not even hesitating right now.
Man, look at you. Look at you, man. Look at you. All right. So you over here talking about kicking Thunder's ass. I got it. All right. So,
You over here mixing my words.
hey, I don't write the news. I just report it. All right. So who would you fire if you had fire anyone in the industry, live or dead? Who would it be? And why, if
Fire
you want to tell me
though.
why.
Listen, if I had to fire somebody, it would definitely be Jade. Is she gonna keep talking that talking? Is she not moving that moving? I'm just gonna have to fire her.
Oh man.
She just too much of either too much of this or too much of this.
Oh
So
man.
we gotta professional wrestling. Let's wrestle a little bit. Let's
Hey
go.
man. Hey, but she does have those guns. I gotta admit, like I work out in the gym. I'm like, man,
Like
I'm
I
trying.
said, she's doing really well, but I don't have enough patience to just keep watching somebody do the same thing every week. So we need something different.
Oh man. Oh man. I like you. You all right. Okay, so tell the people where they can find you every week, all your socials. Let's get that in.
Yeah, sure. So I'm on Twitter and Instagram, Janai_Kai. You can find me there. And then I also have a Twitch account. I
Oh,
stream every week. It's twitch.tv/Janai Kai. And then I also have Patreon, which you can find like some exclusive content there, daily posts, uh, travel vlogs. You can find it on patreon.com/Janai Kai.
man, you got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, anybody that
Yeah.
does a Twitch stream, I'll tell you right now, that is some hard work. All right. I tried doing a Twitch stream. I mean, look, we do this podcast 3 days a week. Plus, I do special interviews, with athletes like yourself. So literally I'm working rounds 3, 4 nights a week after I get off my shoot job. And if I'm wrestling during the weekend, I'm editing and I'm doing all this stuff during the week, like while I'm on planes or while I'm in cars
Yep.
driving to shows and things like that. You know the gimmick. So
Yeah.
the fact that you have time to sit and do a Twitch stream, that is a lot of work.
I try to at least get 2 days a week in. I try, and I've been having more availability to do so. So I've been streaming a lot more lately, and actually late tonight I'm going to like switch up my layout and everything 'cause I have to change a few things. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. It's great to just stream and just be in your own world and do whatever you want.
So what do you stream? Do you stream games? Like, do you play games and stream, or do you? Oh, so,
Yeah, I
okay.
I stream games. Like here and there I'll watch wrestling and I'll let anyone who's subbed to me request a match.
Oh,
And then depending on what's going on, like sometimes I just have like a just chatting stream, and if we decide like, hey, let's watch a quick clip of something that we were talking about, like let's look it up real quick and watch it together. Like we'll
nice.
do that. So it's sometimes it's very random in that sense, but it's overall really fun.
Send me the link to your stream, and I have a Twitch channel too, and I don't really do anything other but play games, and I would like to watch your stuff. Um,
Yeah, legit. Okay, I will.
so, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you can find her on all these social medias right here. Facebook, you can find her. So, is the
Oh my
baddest
gosh,
blog spot?
my
Is that
blog
still
spot.
lit? Is this?
That's dead.
Oh, okay. Well, don't look at her there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go find there. See, I'm doing some
Like
bad
I even
research right
tried
here.
clicking on that link and I was like, it's nothing.
Yeah,
It's like
let's see. Here, let me click
if
on it and see what
anything,
happens.
there was probably my last blog post from last summer.
It says Janai Kai, the baddest. There's nothing here.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
picture
There
of
you
you.
go then. There you go.
Oh man,
See that I started
well,
doing more of my blogging on my Patreon. So if
okay.
you want to see more blogging, you're gonna find it on my Patreon. So patreon.com/Janai Kai, you'll see it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find her on Patreon. You can find her on Twitter. You can find her on Instagram. And hopefully, let me click on this real quick before I push this. You can find her on Facebook too, ladies and gentlemen. That opened up. Yes.
Page.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put these all in the chat. So what I want you to do is when we're done with this interview, I want you to send me a message with your Patreon information. Do you have a Pro Wrestling Tee shop? Do you have any,
No, I don't have like a merch shop online. I just sell like in person, but I will post like, hey, if you want something, just hit me up about it. But I'm gonna get to that whole website thing, and I'm hoping like next year I'll launch it. But yeah, so far that's what's going on.
I mean, I happen to know the guy over at Pro Wrestling Tees. I can kind of you're right.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I got you. Don't even worry. I got you. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for have you here today, Janai Kai. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can find her weekly online streaming, doing the most. Hit her up. And dude, don't be up in her DMs trying to be all weird because you don't like that shit.
I just delete those. When it says like message requests, and I just see just one little thing, delete.
Right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, thank you very much for joining us here on another exciting installment of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. And we will see you later.